Short, to the point, filled with information. I'm going to go ahead and throw it down to Chad to start us out this morning. Chad, what'd you get out of these two lessons? The one on possibilities and then the one on inspiration.
I loved them both. That's first of all what I got. Some major points here that are amazing. Some of the ways he articulates things too. You can't exactly put your finger on it and you hear him say it, and you're like, that's why I prefer inspiration over motivation, because motivation is like a shower. It wears off, and it's a constant go, 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 go. Whereas inspiration comes from the inside out, and it's just different. So just a few ones here. Fix your thinking. Winning the war in your mind. Fix your thinking. The life we have is a reflection of the way we think. So, and I've always loved this because all of our thoughts have got us so far. They've got us to where we are now, which we've probably done some great, most people on here have done some great things in their life, but they want to do more and they want to do better and they want to do higher. And the only way that we're going to do that is by changing. If we'll change, everything will change for us. And so that's the best thing we can do. And that's why we're here to change. Problems being opportunities. I love that. That's a mindset. Businesses are solutions to problems. Definitely. So there's a need in the marketplace and we're just filling the need with any business. CPS, we're all the chief problem solvers of our, we're the CEOs of our company. We're the CPSs. The value you bring is a reflection of the problems you solve. And I would even go so far as to say at the end of the month, our paycheck is a representation of the problems that we've solved and the lives that we've changed. Apathy finds an excuse. Passion finds a way. I think that's important too. We have to think about how are we more passionate? Are we more apathetic? That's one of the greatest challenges I think we see in the world is, we're either spending our time doing income achieving or tension relieving, goal achieving or tension relieving. And I think it's important that we take an actual inventory of, are we spending more time each day tension relieving or goal achieving? And when we're spending more time goal achieving, then we're moving the needle towards our goals. And that means we're doing all the things and we're moving in the right direction. Motivate, inspire, 2 action words. External motivation. I never thought about the root of it is motive, and then inspire, in spirit, inspiration, root, inspire. So it's in spirit. Inspiration comes from within. Motivation comes from outside. Thought that was great. Motivation pushes. Inspiration pulls. Looking for self-motivated leaders that we can inspire. That's huge, and that's I think we, that there's a reason why in there that 90% of the world works for the other 10%, because the 10% are typically self-motivated, self-inspired. Or at least self-motivated and open to be inspired. And so those are the people we're looking for. And so we have to understand that we're looking for 1 in 10 when we go out there. We have to become the 1 in 10. And as we become the 1 in 10, it'll be easier to attract the 1 in 10. Man, I can't wait to get my hands on the 33 different attributes, Joel. He was going through the 5 that he mentioned, and I was just like, wow, I want to know all 33 of these because that's just crazy awesome. Optimistic outlook. Joel, you taught me to be an eternal optimist, and it doesn't always feel like being an eternal optimist, but it's important to always look for the silver lining. Some people driving their car and they see all they can see is the dead bugs splattered on the windshield and they're missing the sunrise. I think we need to look for the sunrise. Humility is inspirational. Setting the tone, generous with recognition. I love, and if you think about it, the company, corporate, does a great job of displaying a lot of these. I think of Mark and Cindy. I think they're humble. They're very humble. They're very generous with recognition, always going the extra mile, adding. I've always sat around and said a lot of these companies, especially when they go public, they're all about the bottom line. How can the company make more money? Well, Mark and Cindy and Mike and those guys, they sit down and say, how can we pay out more money to the distributors? It's a different mindset. And it's just being very generous with the money and with recognition. Consistent empathy. Huge, huge. Our team wants to know that we care, right? No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And all we need is a couple. There's 33 and all we need is a couple. And I'm sure every person on here probably has like 5+, right? You guys have 5+, and all you need is a couple. to be an inspirational leader. The last thing I'll say, and probably something I'm gonna do a post about later today, is when he said he's talking about the centered leader, the most inspirational trait, and he said, "What is a centered leader? Someone who is fully engaged and ensured, guided by values, driven by purpose, and obsessed with mission." And I just love that. That, like, to me, sums it all up. So I'll leave it with that. Everyone wins when the leader gets better. And so I'm glad that we're here getting better, Joel.
So good. I can't wait to see your post because I know it's going to be epic. Tay, what do you have taken down for notes? I know we only had 2 videos, so make sure you leave at least like one thing for me left.
Dude, I wasn't planning on leaving anything. Actually, the first thing I wrote down was the first thing that you said. So I was already getting your notes. Like literally the first thing I wanted to share, because I was like, we can't miss this, is what you said. How you think about your business is how other people will see it. They will either run to it or run from it. And I love that, because with the business that we're in, like, that's a direct reflection of that. So I just love that you put it out there. And I think people really need to understand, like, many times, I think we get in our head and we start saying things about what we can't do or what people are not doing. And we forget that people actually feel that energy. When you go to have that conversation with somebody, they can feel if you have confidence in what you're doing or if you don't. And many times, if you don't have it, if you kind of being negative about things, then more than likely they're going to run away from you. So I love that you kind of put that first. The second thing that I wrote down was limited thinking will cause you to have a limited life. He said, before you fix your problems, you need to fix your thinking. And I love that personally, because that's when I first started my personal development journey and just getting into like network marketing as a whole. Like I realized for myself, I was like the guy who was on the back road, one-way street. And that's all I knew, was everything that I knew at the moment. So I thought like, I only thought one way. And I got into personal development. What I realized, it's like open up just like the Atlanta interstate. They were just like, if you just open up your mind and like your perspective to hear and see from other people's perspectives, like so much more you can learn, so many different ways to do just one thing. So for me, understanding like if you always have an open mindset to just learn from just about anybody that you call pal with, you can always figure out a new and better way to do anything. So for me, it's just always be open and willing to learn from people and just understand, like, if you just open up your mindset, then many times you just get tips and tricks from just random things. I watch TV shows sometimes and I hear just the most random thing, and I to point the care, I'm like, wow, that was like such amazing advice that they gave. And I think I get that because I'm always open, just hearing people in normal conversations. So when I watch just any show now, it's like I'm listening to get any wisdom out of that show, opposed to just watching just to watch it. So that was one. And I love when he said, reframe your problems. And I love that, because we all go through life. Life don't have any favorites. It's gonna affect us the same way it's gonna affect Chad, the same way it's gonna affect Joe. It's gonna come and it's not gonna stop. The only thing is, how are you gonna respond to it? So I love when he say reframe your problems. Whatever you're going through, don't ask why is it happening to me. Ask what can I get from this? What can I learn in this season of my life that I can move forward and possibly give that advice to someone else who may go through it, or possibly I may be able to use this later on down the road in my life. So that was another one that I love. And just the last thing that I'll share, I love when he talked about the idea of motivate and inspire. I've literally personally, I've kind of witnessed just the transformation of myself. I grew up just playing sports all of my life, and that was literally over half of my life. I feel like sports just motivated me to do things to get a reward at the end. And ever since transitioning into like just the personal development, I feel like I've been inspired, not to get the reward at the end, but the change within. So for me, what I wrote down is like, when you motivate somebody, you're trying to pump them up to do something. But when you inspire somebody, you're pumping in for them to change something. And I think that's what I love about just personal development, network marketing. It works as just as a whole, because we're not trying to pump somebody up, but until like you can do this, like we know you can do this, but we want more than you from you to do this. We want you to actually change and become that person who God created you to be. So it's not more so about the results and the things that you can get at the end of it, but it's about what you're going to become in the process. And I think for me, that's the difference between motivating and inspiring people. You inspire them to become that better person who they're destined to be. And I think if we can just literally just believe that about people, see it in them, and then speak it over them, like the difference that we make in people's lives. I talked about my mom yesterday because it was her birthday, and one thing that I remember about my mom is like every conversation, like even to this day, like it's like a lot of older people around her age, like they tell me how they knew my mom and how they just loved her. And I'm like, how did my mom just become great friends? And just everybody that I meet have nothing but great things to say about her, even long after she passed. And what the one thing that most of them say, like she just took time to care. Like she took time to have conversations, just to sit down. If she's gonna talk to this person, she's gonna talk to that person like they was the only person that mattered at that moment. And it's the same thing with us. If you go into a grocery store, like look at the people. If you go to Walmart, the people that's working at the door, do you think they want to sit there and work at that door? Probably not. But if you take time to notice them, they will look forward to seeing your face again. And when they do, I promise you, they are going to greet you with probably something that most people don't get to experience, because you made them feel something that most people don't make them feel. So if I can just give you guys any advice, it is just to notice people wherever you are, wherever you go. If you're going through a drive-through, if you're at a Starbucks or whatever the case may be, just notice people, speak something good about that person, understanding that most people don't get that. And if we get to give that gift to somebody, they will remember you forever. So for me, I think the best way to make an impact, man, is to notice people and just go out and just inspire people to change within. Because if you inspire somebody to change within, they're going to change their life. And you may not see the fruit of that, but it's going to come. And I think it's going to pay out great. So just so much good here. And I think I left you some, Joe, but I'm pretty sure if I did, you're still going to pick up trails and just give us so many other gold nuggets, man.
So good. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by stealing Tay's quote that Chad texted. So this is a team effort, pulling this one off right here. It says, "Don't work for the goal at the end, but the change from within." Tay Young. Quote it, post it, put it everywhere, guys. Thinking about possibilities. That's what this whole first section was about. And, you know, I guess the easiest way to summarize it is that most people obsess over problems rather than focusing on the possibilities. The people that are successful, the people that stand out above a crowd, the people that are leaders are the ones that are looking at the possibilities, not the problems. You know, you both talked about the thought process of reframing what your problem is. And the reason why we reframe them is because of the fact that problems are opportunities in disguise. When something arises that's a problem, there's normally a business that is formed. That's what he said. A business is formed to solve that problem. Do you guys understand that you have a business that was formed to solve a problem? Two biggest problems that we help solve are people's health and people's wealth, which is normally the two biggest things every single year that people make New Year's resolutions for. They want to get healthier and they want to make more money. And we have a business opportunity that's designed to fill that need. So go out and discover that need. When you're having conversations with people, you know, that whole process of finding the why, it normally comes back to one of those two things. But then discovering the additional layer of the, well, why do you want more money? Well, one of the things that I had in my devotional this morning was talking about, you know, raising children, and how if a mom can stay home through the preschool years, the difference in development of a child is so much farther ahead of kids who don't have that single connection with a mother during that time. They said, if you could sacrifice for those years on a single household income to accomplish that, it's amazing the rewards that it pays for the child throughout their life. Huge studies done on it. So one of the things that we solve with our business is allowing parents to stay home during that time, after that time. I know, you know, Tay, you're not going to have to be the dad that wakes up, goes to work, and then sees the kids right before bed. That was my life. That was one of the things why I wanted to get out of that rat race so bad, was because I was the good morning, good night dad. No one can stop you from reframing problems as a potential opportunity. Nobody can can change your mindset. So when your mindset is to look to solving problems, nobody can take that away from you. One of the things that Ed Milet says all the time is the people that are the most successful are the ones that understand things are happening for them, not to them. That is a huge mindset shift, because apathy finds an excuse, but passion finds a way. We say that all the time, that the person who knows how will always work for the person who knows why, because the person who knows why will figure it out. You know, that's the amazing thing that I can say about my wife is everything for her is figure outable. She will figure out a way. She wants to get on whatever the next promotion is. If she has to sign, you know, how many people to get Ruby, she's going to do that. She's going to do whatever it takes to get that accomplished, to get on whatever that next reward trip is. I don't think we've ever missed one other than the last one because of COVID. Oh, Tay, you're so lucky. So it's one of those things where anyone can point out a problem, but a leader does something about it. So to think differently will cause you to lead differently. So if you need to lead differently, start with your thinking. Stop thinking about your problems, because all you will do is start seeing those problems. Start looking for opportunity, like Chad and Tay said, and opportunity will show itself all around. You want to make a bigger difference in the world? Go out and solve bigger problems. I said, I got 99 problems and there's an opportunity in every one. There's 99 opportunities to solve 99 problems. The next part was thinking inspiration versus motivation. Guys, trying to think when I first started talking about this, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, saying that motivation is useless. It absolutely is. Like Chad said, motivation is like a shower. You have to do it daily because it wears off. Inspiration, on the other hand, is something that comes internally from within and pulls you towards your goals. So instead of doing daily motivation, how about find daily inspiration? That's why some of the people that we look at, we don't look to them for motivation. We look to them because we see something in them that we desire to be like. So it causes us to draw to them. You know, when you start looking for people that inspire you, all of a sudden your circle starts to change to be like those people. The best leaders don't just think about motivating their team. The best leaders work at inspiring their team. And I know for us, that has always been our goal. We don't, excuse me, we don't want to constantly be trying to motivate you. We want you to find the greatness that's within yourself. That's why we do stuff like this. We want to pull out what's already inside you that we know that's there. If we could just figure out that one word or that one statement or show you that one video that could unlock that key and that door to you, we know that once you're inspired, you will go crazy to make a difference. Motivation is an external force, which is moving somebody forward, where inspiration comes from within that pulls everybody along with it. So while managers seek to motivate people through awards, like Tay was saying, you know, the thing at the end, the prize at the end, the championship, you know, inspiration is going to come from a leader who's trying to draw people to a destination and a lifelong goal. Our goal isn't to motivate leaders. Our goal is to find self-motivated leaders and inspire them towards a world-changing mission. Guys, that's one of the things that we've talked about forever with It Works as well. Our world-changing mission is to help people get out of debt so that people can be more, do more, give more, help more, be more in their community, a life of more, a life of winning. These are the things, these are the mission. This is the mission that is set before us, because it's a noble mission that changes not only a single person's life, but an entire world around us. I don't know if anybody's ever heard the starfish story before, but there was a kid on the beach, and a young man was walking along the beach, and he saw the kid, and it had been right after a storm, and all of the starfish were getting washed up on shore and dying. And there was thousands of them everywhere. And this little kid was picking them up and throwing them out in the water, picking them up and throwing them out in the water, picking them up and throwing them out in the water. And the gentleman comes up to the young kid and says, "What are you doing? Don't you know it's futile? All of these starfish are going to die. It doesn't matter." And the kid picked up one starfish, looked at it, threw it in the water and said it mattered to that one. Picked up another one, looked at it, threw it in. It mattered to that one. Guys, what you are doing matters to that one person that you connect with, that one person that you reach out to. So make sure that you're reaching out to people. Again, looking for self-motivated leaders. It may not be the person that you reach out to, but they may lead you to that person. And when you find that person, not only does it motivate people around you, but it inspires you as a leader to do better. When he was talking about the 33 traits, man, that was amazing. The number one trait was a leader who is centered. Do you know what your core values are? Do you share them? Do you stand behind them? And do you inspire other people to come along with you? Once you find that out as a leader, you become unstoppable. The best way to inspire others is to be inspired yourself. And how do you inspire yourself? Guys, sit down every day, take note, take a gratitude journal, write down the things you're thankful for. That's how you work to stay inspired. Positive self-talk. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself how amazing you are, how amazing your day is going to be, how awesome it's going to be when the people that come into your life support you to become an amazing leader. You're going to look for the amazing people. They're going to flock to you. Guys, that kind of stuff, John Maxwell says he verbally talks to himself every day, and he's done that for years. Something that we need to do more of. Personal self-talk. Pull the best out of those around you will cause you to pull the best out of yourself. And I'll finish with this, guys. 2 questions. What steps will you take today to commit to changing your thinking? And then with that new mindset, what are you going to do today to take action to changing your world and the world around you? Guys, go out and make it an amazing rest of your week. We'll see you here again next time.